Hi, everybody. Thanks for having me today. I don't want to keep you too long, but the purpose of my chat with you today is, to talk about LinkedIn, to maybe try and help, maximize your profile. Some of you may have profiles, some of you may not yet. So it's about, I've heard the word networking already mentioned. So networking with each other, networking with other courses, networking with previous employees, colleagues, and future colleagues, of course, as well. So hopefully this will maybe enable you to enhance your professional identity online. Very briefly, my role in LinkedIn is business development specialist. So I'm essentially talking to, C-level people, CEOs, HR directors, talent acquisition people about LinkedIn recruitment platform. So essentially, the LinkedIn recruitment platform is, seen as the forefront of recruitment, social recruitment these days. We haven't wiped out job boards and agencies, but those traditional channels that deal only with active job seekers are now being wiped out by more social recruiting methods in terms of LinkedIn. So we've got 80% of the network is passive. So those that are, gainfully in employment but are available to listen to other job opportunities. So that's essentially the background. I'm just going to go through exactly what LinkedIn. So connecting the world's professionals to make them more productive and successful. That's essentially our mission. Just going to go over an overview of LinkedIn, some of our facts, key facts at the moment, how you guys can maximize your career prospects through LinkedIn. Case study interviews, just a few interviews of people that are using LinkedIn actively and are getting job opportunities all the time through LinkedIn, even though they're not looking for jobs, and then some useful links that could help you. So LinkedIn, I'm sure most of you know, we're a professional social network, the place on the web to share your professional identity with the world and other professionals. So it is like an interactive business card, and you start with connecting with people you already know. So again, with each other, and that moves on to the different degree in your connections, which I'll explain a little bit more about later. So it's not, you all know what Facebook is. It's not a place like Facebook. You don't post pictures, social updates. We're not a job board. It is a social network. So if you do use LinkedIn, you actively engage, you collaborate, you interact, etc. And you are more available and attractive to recruiters as well, if you so wish. So we're making great stride towards that mission at the moment. As I said, the largest business professional network in the world. As of May of this year, we have 175 million professionals, 3 new members every second, and 106 million members per month. So another thing that's very interesting is people associate this with a bit of an American thing, but like that's all going on in America. 62% of the global network is outside of America. So there's a lot of international opportunity going on there. So we are growing rapidly. Why members come to LinkedIn? So identity, networking, and insight. So identity being your professional record, of course, online. And again, I'm going to talk about that a little bit later on, but it's not an absolute reflection of your CV. It's a lot more creative than that. Networking, of course, connect and be able to be found. Networking is probably the number one thing that people use LinkedIn for. And insights, so that's business and product insights within your industry to become better at what you do. So you come here to be better at what you do, but the thing is that active job seekers, that's just one part of LinkedIn. It's mostly about the networking and building your professional identity. So our vision is to create economic opportunity for every professional in the world, and the mission again to connect the world's professionals to make them more productive and successful. So just to differentiate between the two networks, there is a context to every social network site. And to every social network site, people expect particular things. So the likes of Facebook and Twitter, people follow for incentives, for deals, for different rewards and discounts that are going on with things. LinkedIn is very different. It's unique in that it is about your professional industry, jobs, companies, career information, etc. So it's just good to differentiate those. And again, similar here, the big 3 dynamics in the social sphere that you see all the time on websites, etc., is your social sphere being Facebook, so who you are as a person, sharing a lot of family and friends events. I know this sounds common sense, but then the professional one, of course, being LinkedIn, so who you are as a professional, ensuring that it keeps like that, so professional activities, events, networking, groups, all that kind of thing, collaboration. And then broadcasting, that's Twitter, so it's a little bit more random. There's no particular context to it. It's just very fast moving. So yeah, just broadcasting your voice to the world, and that's what Twitter is good for. So a few facts. As I said, 175 million professionals. It's growing very fast, 3 members per second. These statistics are never going to be right because, as I said, we're growing all the time. But these are right as of about a month ago. Countries, 200. Members outside of US, 62%. Languages, 18. We've got quite a few more coming on board now. Students, over 20 million. Groups on LinkedIn, over 1 million. And unique visitors a month, 106 million. And this is just it's just a little bit of interesting information. So 50% of the world's population is under 35. So in terms of the years to reach 50 million people, the radio took 38 years, TV 13 years, internet 4 years, the iPod 3 years, and then 1 year for 200 million members on Facebook. So it just shows how fast social networking is moving, and that's going to keep moving a lot more rapidly. And then a few more stats there. 85% of US companies are using social media for recruitment. 95% of them are on LinkedIn. 66% of Irish companies are using social media and online tools, and we're seeing a huge increase in that. 33% of them are using LinkedIn, so that is, as I said, growing hugely. 78% of consumers do trust peer recommendations, and 14% are trusting advertising. So again, there are market studies surrounding all of this and very powerful data analytics. If any of you are really interested in this data mining stuff, I'm happy to share the links with you. So maximising your career prospects. So just what I'm going to show you, again, LinkedIn's not for everybody. I'm not saying that you all have to be on LinkedIn, but if you are interested in being on LinkedIn, if you're not on LinkedIn already, again, it's free to join. This is what I'm just going to run over, why you should join LinkedIn: building your professional brand, pursuing your career passion, building your professional network, and leveraging groups and contributing to community and groups. So why you should join LinkedIn. So we know what LinkedIn is now. So why you should join, it does help you get to go where you want to go in your career. It helps build that network for you. It lets you connect with your connections of your connections, so your first degree connections moving on to your second degree and third degree, with mutual benefits such as job referrals, those opportunities within your industry, discussions on various topics with like-minded people in your industry. Connecting with classmates, with each other, faculty, friends, colleagues professionally, whether they were colleagues in the past, potential colleagues, current colleagues, etc., and managing your online reputation. So what employers learn about you. Just another good thing, actually, the international opportunities, are huge on LinkedIn. So remember, I know you're all in faculty at the moment, and Galway University has got a presence. Stanford, Oxford, Harvard, Columbia, they all have a very strong presence on LinkedIn. You're able to go on your free profiles, you're able to go to the company page, get chatting in their groups, with like-minded people around the world. They might be doing similar courses to you. So, you can leverage that. You can leverage all of that for free. So it's just good to have a look there on the top right, the search box, drop down to companies and go into any of these institutions that you're interested in. Building your professional brand. So yes, you are in complete control. Again, I know most of you know your profile is free. You're in control of that. So showcasing your skills is incredibly important. Making sure your skills and talents are being seen by the right people and the right opportunities. So your LinkedIn profile represents your definitive professional image on the web. It's discoverable through millions of searches on LinkedIn. If your name is Googled and you have a LinkedIn homepage, that will come up the first one in Google. In a tough job market, as we all know now, it is important to define your skills and experience, make yourself stand out. So again, LinkedIn is not a CV, a mirror image of your CV, rather. It's much more creative, a creative profile that makes you stand out, and there's lots of ways of making it creative in terms of reading lists from Amazon. You've got Boxnet application files, you have recommendations from people you trust, that you used to work with, etc. So your profile is being viewed by a lot more recruiters than a paper CV. So building your complete profile and quite a strong profile with relevant information is very important. Just one side note on that, we always talk about this. The Irish just don't. I'm sure you're not all Irish, but the Irish people have got this thing about, I can't say much about myself. It looks like I'm bragging. I can't say I've got these great skills because I'm showing off. Everybody outside of Ireland knows that that's what you have to do. You have to stand out from the crowd and put yourself out there. But do that. Don't feel that you're blowing your own trumpet, because it is a professional network and you do need to put yourself out there. So finding and pursuing your career passion. So once you've established your professional identity, you can leverage LinkedIn groups and tools for the jobs that you're interested in. So you on your free profile, you have an advanced search function. This will let you go to your ideal company, job. You can go to company pages. Within there, you can view the profiles of employees already working there. If you're interested in that company, if you're interested in the skills they have, you can essentially view the career paths of all of these people that you may be interested in. You're seeing what their path was, seeing what skills they have, maybe sending them a personalised note to connect, saying, look, you're interested in, jobs this company, can they share any tips with you, etc. So it's like a giant, relevant, up-to-date database at your fingertips to connect with these people and, share interests with them. Look at what groups they're members of, maybe join those groups and have chats with them, about best practices in the industry, etc. So again, recruiters are globally using this. I'm not trying to sell it to you, but it is a way to, if you want to be seen by recruiters, particularly with opportunities that are most relevant to you, because it's very targeted platform, this is the way to go with it. So again, having a complete 100% profile is very important. So building and maintaining your professional network. So again, connecting with people is very important. Again, it's not all about the quantity, but it is about the quality. Don't just connect with anybody, but these people are of relevance in your industry. In terms of how it works, your first degree connections are your first and direct connections. So I would have 600-700 connections. Those connections are, all from previous companies, from previous college, my current colleagues, and people you meet at events like this, etc. They're my first degree connections. We can see each other's profiles, we can send each other messages, we can see each other's email address, etc. Those connections have connections that are my second degree connections. So my first degree yields over 30,000 second degree connections, and you can see it tells you your second degree connections from mine would yield over 90,000 third degree. Your secondary degree connections will always be displayed on your homepage as people you may know, suggested to you. And for the most part, you will know those people. You say, I actually worked with them 3 companies ago, or, oh yes, that's right, I went to university with them. So it does work on very smart algorithms. It's not an invasion of privacy, but it's just, again, smart data depending on what's in your profile. Again, you're constantly building your professional network. So LinkedIn is the place to converse with like-minded professionals, to learn and share information and build your professional brand and your identity. So again, have rules with who you connect with. You need to know them somehow. You should have a connection with them, you've met them, etc. The other thing is just in terms of tips. When you connect with people, you click on, you connect or you want to connect with somebody, a default message is in there saying, I would like to connect with you on my professional network, and has your name. A strong tip there is don't just hit connect. Put in a personal message, say, hi, we met at such and such an event. I think it would be great to talk about, or I'm interested in what your views are on, or whatever, and then hit connect. Make it personal. People will remember you that way when you connect with them. Other things as well is your headline. So within on the top of your company page, or on your LinkedIn page, you have a headline in terms of what you want to come across as. So for me, it's developing business success through the power of LinkedIn, because that's my role. It's a little bit more descriptive than business development specialist. So you will have your current, whatever it is you do down in your experience section, but it's always good to have a very powerful headline. And then any other tips on that? Yeah, just be creative and make sure to personalize your notes and skills. If you're putting skills in there, they're the keywords that recruiters will find you on. So keep it relevant. So groups, very briefly, I'll just fly through groups. LinkedIn groups are designed, so we've got over 1 million groups. I think it's closer to 1.5 actually at the moment. And they're designed to help you network in your profession and learn about new job opportunities, and more importantly, discuss best practices and network within your industry. So groups, join those that are relevant to your industry. They're related, for example, the college groups and alumni you have here, and also again the industries and products that you're most interested in. Be engaged in them. It does take time to get used to it, but it does enable to build your network again and learn a lot more and share insights. And yes, just interact with influential people, and that's going to give you the opportunity to network further with them. So I have just a few interviews with people that have They have recently, these people, well, the three, Sinead, Chris and Jack, they've all recently graduated from masters. One of them, I think, was PhD. And then I invited in Fergal, who's just a recruiter who uses LinkedIn, not the corporate solution. So I just thought it might be of interest to you to just see how they use LinkedIn. So I'll jump. Do we have time for? Yeah, great. Do we have sound?
Yeah, we do.
Great. So I'll just jump in. Great.
My name is Sinead Dennis and I'm a digital account manager in an advertising agency in Dublin. I'd been working in the industry for about a year and a half, and then I went on and I did a postgrad to specialise in it. And about a year after the postgrad, I was contacted by the operational director of the agency I'm in, who had searched for me using my keywords. I had digital advertising and account manager in my titles. And I'd also build up certain connections in common that I knew people in the industry that were good to be connected with, and it's through that he found me. So he added me, we started emailing, and then we took it to a meeting. Yeah, absolutely, and I think that's something that was considered, I hope, on the behalf of my employer, is that they looked through my skill set and my previous experience, and I'd kind of had a couple of lines on myself on what I was hoping to do further down the line, and he had picked up on that and referenced that in the job spec that I was proposed with, so it was a perfect match to my experience and where I wanted to go. In general, well, I suppose because I'm from a digital background, I'd always felt it was important to have a profile that was as full as possible. I think the biggest thing about LinkedIn is getting comfortable having a social profile without talking about nights out and corresponding to people online. It's a completely different social attitude to have on LinkedIn. However, it's also against the Irish nature to be bragging about any kind of personal achievements. So you don't want to start putting up, one best handwriting in second class, but writing up things like your ECDL exams, taking part in awards, anything that you've done outside, perhaps of your standard CV. It gives you a bit of an opportunity to show a bit of a dimension to your role and your skills. So that was my first protocol, was to fill it up, and then to have a photo that was as professional as possible, not a Facebook photo of me making faces. And I was lucky enough that they'd taken one in work, so I adapted a nice black and white photo to make it look just like a cover CV, which is ultimately what it became. Fill it up as much as you can, don't be shy, and definitely add in anything you think that you worked particularly hard for, because it will shine. The way you describe certain things, employers pick up on that, and that'll be your standout piece from other bog standard CVs. So try not to copy anyone else's LinkedIn, and always spell check everything, nothing worse.
Just to hear it from a recruiter's perspective might be interesting. He just talks about what he's looking for in a LinkedIn profile. And recruiters are scanning LinkedIn all day, so just good to listen to what he says.
My name is Fergal and I'm Operations Director of Galway.
Oh, sorry, I don't know how that went to me. 1 moment. I can't seem to get the large screen option.
Agency in Ireland, and I oversee all the recruitments on behalf of the firm.
I'm going to try that again.
My name is Fergal and I'm Operations Director of a large advertising agency in Ireland, and I oversee all the recruitment on behalf of the firm. Essentially, I would log in and do an advanced search on the role that I'm looking for. I would drill down into the skill set, years of experience, and just look at the interest of the person and their specialities. So the LinkedIn search function is fantastic to really hone in your search for the type of candidate you're looking for. A combination of both. Depends on what role I'm looking for. Essentially, the person and the skill set is what you drill down and look for initially. So whether they're in employment or not, that's not really relevant to me. It's more what they're interested in, and where they want to go with their career, and do they fit in terms of the right profile of candidate. So with the LinkedIn function, you can see if someone's actively looking for a job. in which case you'd send a note and contact them and invite them to meet. And for those students in college, again, it's very important to see where they want to go next in their career and will they be a good match for the agency. So a combination of both. Well, I would be quite specific in my needs depending on what the role is that we're recruiting for. So again, I would only speak to people who I think will fit the profile. So whether it's years of experience, the type of industry background, the type of companies that they've worked for. So I'd be quite specific in my search, and LinkedIn actually allows you to do that, to tailor your needs to what you're looking for. Personally, I keep my profile updated all the time with any achievements or any changes or career progressions. I use it regularly to connect with people in both the advertising industry and in my own career area. So I would connect regularly and keep conversations going. And I also I've joined quite a few groups recently. Because it builds up good discussion and just good conversation with colleagues in a similar position. I think it's important to take it seriously as your CV. It's your online CV. You're telling the story about yourself. It's important to be honest. Give as much information as you can. Keep it live, up to date, relevant, and just constantly promote yourself and. And connect with as many people in the industry who or in the area that you want to work. Connect with as many people as possible, really, to open up future connections, really.
Okay, so that was the recruiter. So I'm sure most people have a LinkedIn profile already, but look, I've put up some useful links there. So this presentation is live. It's on a product called SlideShare, which LinkedIn bought there recently. So that is a live presentation for you guys too. I'm sure Sean will share the link around. And again, feel free to contact me. So linkedin.com, of course. My details are there. They're on the SlideShare. Feel free to contact me directly just for any documents, any tips, anything at all.